Specifically, the annual notice was emailed to the West Essex Tribune and Star Ledger on January 3rd, 2025. The agenda and resolutions for this meeting are available on www.livingstonnj.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in closed sessions will be made known to the public at a later time. Notice to the members of the governing body and township staff. Any use of electronic device during this meeting shall be used solely for the purpose of township business, and any communication are subject to the Open Publics Record Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston Council meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at facebook.com/Livingston Township NJ. Questions or comments will be accepted by emailing livcomments@livingstonnj.org by 4 p.m. on that day of the meeting and shared with the town council members before each meeting. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in Livingston Code 2-15. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Anthony.
Here.
Votani.
Here.
Vieira.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Here.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Here. We're going to rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I ask all of you to keep in mind all of the victims of terrible atrocities that have taken place throughout the country, especially in the Middle East this past week when one family was reunited with two of their very, very young sons and their mother who were killed as results of the October 7th act. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. A couple of housekeeping items. Essex County update, Eileen Fishman, it will not be here this week. She has a meeting of her own to attend to. For those of you who are here for the following, one introduction resolution, which is 08-2025, that will not be read, will not be introduced this evening, it will be pulled for a later date, as well as consent agenda item resolution 25-111 will not be part of the voting group as well. So now that we've taken care of that, I will turn the meeting over to Chief Marshutz. You're like our sixth councilman.
I want to welcome everybody to Livingston tonight. We have a lot of visitors from outside of town. Okay. This is always an exciting night for us, and you'll understand why when I start reading what these young officers have been through. So my name is Gary Marshutz, and I have the privilege of serving as the police chief here in Livingston.
I think the microphone is it on?
You want to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to put up a little.
Okay. I want to thank the council and the manager for inviting us here and giving us the time in our meeting. A successful police department is humble, well-trained, proactive, engaged with the community. I believe we have that here, and I think the governing body shares in that success. Since March 1st is Manager Lewis's 7th anniversary in Livingston, I think it is important to note he has now hired or promoted 2/3 of the department in the last 7 years. So happy anniversary to you, Manager Lewis. We are here for a ceremonial swearing in to introduce our new officers to the council, to the public, and to the other employees of the township. We're one big family here in Livingston, and certainly we're a family in the police department, but we're part of a larger family with 300 plus employees, I believe, at this point. And to give their families a chance to celebrate with us. So I know we have a lot of family members here, and certainly they sacrifice as well. So they earn this tonight as well. Also, we want to recognize the achievements of so many officers internally who helped in the hiring process. We hired a lot of officers in Livingston over the last 14 months, last couple of years. Everybody helps from the top to the bottom internally in the police department. They take a lot of pride in selecting the young officers that they're going to train and go on calls with and that's going to be a part of their lives for the next 30 years. So I certainly want to give a shout out to all the officers involved in the process. And actually, let me stop there. I'm going to tell you what they've been through. The process for these officers started over a year ago by submitting a lengthy application, competing in a written examination, passing a difficult physical examination, and that was just to get them to the first interview. After several rounds of interviews and writing samples, the successful candidates were invited to a final interview with the two new captains. This is the first time we had our two new captains participate, the chief of police and also the township manager. Only then do they get to be called a recruit, and then they start the rigorous process of 22 weeks in the police academy. So they've certainly been through a lot, and it takes us about a year to get an officer fully trained and up and running in the township. Again, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Lieutenant Collins, who was actually our administrative sergeant at the time, and he put a lot of time and effort into this process, this hiring process. Also, off of this hiring process, we have 3 in the police academy right now, in Morris County Police Academy. So we've been busy. Just want to give you a couple quick numbers. When we started the process over a year ago, we had 250 applicants that applied for the job. 190 took the written exam on March 25th. The top 75 test scores are allowed to advance to the PT examination. At the physical, we had no-shows, we had disqualifications, and then the rest of our candidates had to submit to a written interview, writing interview. Again, all along through this whole process, we have no-shows. People decide it's not for them, it's too rigorous for them. And then we had 15 candidates that went to the final interview. They also had to go through psychological testing, medical testing, and a bunch of stuff that they had to do for the police academy as well. So if you're not proud of them, if you weren't proud of them, you should be now after hearing that. All right, I'm going to start. We always like to include our council members. Again, we have a great town from the top. This is a great place to work in Livingston. Nobody leaves us. They get hired here. You stay here for 30 years. In some cases, you stay a little longer than 30 years. But we like the fact that we have a lot of dialogue with our governing body and our council members. So we like to include them in the process. So I'm going to call up Officer Ryan Levine, badge 291 for the manager, and Mayor Meinhardt. I would like Mayor Meinhardt to come down. And Ryan, can you bring up your family as well?
I have the Bible.
And who has the Bible?
I do. Oh.
Hold on one second. I want to read a little bio for that. I didn't read the bio. All right. Ryan, just turn around, face the crowd. Don't face me, face the crowd. I get to see you every day now. They want to see you. So I'm going to read a short bio on all the officers as I call them up with their family. Their family is going to participate in the swearing in. It's a ceremonial swearing in. They're already police officers. And then we're going to give people a chance to take a photo of the families. And then we're going to continue to do that. And at the end, we'll call up all of the officers to take a group photo at the end. Then we'll get out of here because they actually do have business to do tonight. But Officer Ryan Levine attended Ramapo College of New Jersey, graduating with a bachelor's degree in psychology. Officer Levine has previously served with the New York City Police Department in the 110th precinct from 2021 to 2024. Officer Levine graduated from the Morris County Police Academy Class 103 in November of 2024 and will be assigned to the Patrol Division upon his completion of the field training program. Officer Levine would like to thank his fiancée, Julia DiLorenzo. Is she up here? Hi, Julia. And his family for the years of love and support. So, you ready? Yes, sir. All right, we're going to have you put your hand up on the Bible. There's the mayor. Mayor Meinhardt's going to help. We usually have a family member hold the Bible. And then, do you want this?
Mike? Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, I get a break now.
It's okay if I take the mic out of your hands for 2 minutes? I know that's tough for you. I know it's tough for you, but I'll figure it out. All right. All right, we ready? Okay. I, Ryan Levine, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of police officer
all the duties of police officer
in the Township of Livingston,
in the Township of Livingston,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, officer.
Stay up here, we're going to take a photo for family. Hold on, I forgot to pin him. Let me pin him real quick. All right, our tradition in Livingston is if they have a family member that's a police officer, they pin them. But in this case, tonight, it's going to be me all night pinning them, which is good for us. It's showing that there's young people that want to be police officers, that it's not just legacy. Two microphones. I know. Thank you. Winning.
The joke was, hey.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You know, Uncle Jesse would do the voiceover.
Okay, next I'm going to call up Officer Matthew Riegert, badge 292. And bring up your family, Matthew, with you. All right, face out, everybody. Let them see you. So, all right. Officer, no, wait. I get yelled at if I'm not on the microphone. All right, Officer Matthew Riegert attended the College of New Jersey and graduated with a bachelor's degree in history. Officer Riegert graduated from the Morris County Police Academy, Class 103, in November of 2024, and will be assigned to the Patrol Division upon his completion of his field training program. Officer Riegert would like to thank his wife, Cecilia Riegert, is she here? Yeah. And his family for the years of love and support. Now, I'm sorry, I got to call down Deputy Mayor Klein, right?
That's me, yep.
You have to go back and forth because they can't hear.
No, okay. No, you're right. Yeah, I get it.
Cecilia, you doing that? You're going to hold the Bible? And you got to raise your right hand?
Okay. I, Matthew Riegert,
I, Matthew Riegert,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform
all the duties of police officer
all the duties of police officer
in the Township of Livingston
in the Township of Livingston
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. Sean, you have a pen? Here you go. I'll take that. Don't go anywhere. We don't want your photo.
Sean, you have to sign too.
Yeah, thank you. Right there.
And your badge on you? Face out. So they can see your face. They don't want to see my face, they want to see your face. Congratulations.
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 Officer. Congratulations, welcome.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Okay, next we're going to call up Officer Connor Marston.
I talked about you. You said about your kids.
Bring up your family.
Oh, have us? Yeah, Bella's over, yeah.
All right, so Connor's badge is 293. My badge is 193. So it's kind of bittersweet because 100 officers have walked through the door between me and you. So we're going to forever be connected there. So, and you know what? They're all heroes. Just remember that. They're all heroes to me. So Officer Connor Marston attended Muhlenberg, the Berg, all right, college, and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in finance. Officer Marston graduated from the Morris County Police Academy, Class 103, in November of 2024, and will be assigned to the Patrol Division upon his completion of his field training program. Officer Marston would like to thank his girlfriend, Renee Monaco, and his family for the years of love and support. We're going to call down Council Member Al Anthony. Well, it's going to be hard for him to hold it. So you just got to go back. You just have to go back and forth when he talks versus when he.
We have a time limit.
I state your name.
I, Connor Marston,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties
and justly perform all the duties
of police officer in the Township of Livingston
of police officer in the Township of Livingston
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Give it to the chief, yeah. Hey, congratulations.
Hey, congratulations.
Actually, he knows what's important. Hold on. I think I like his priorities. I think you taught him well. Thanks.
He walked away. I was trying to put it back on.
Okay, he knows his priorities.
He got too excited.
He ran away from you. You need a pen again.
All right, way to go.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we're on to page 2. All right, I'm going to next call up Officer Christian Pimentel. And bring up your family, Christian. And I'm still practicing with your name, so do I get it right? Or? Pimentel. I get some bad, some bad information from the officers sometimes.
Gary's very white. You have to forgive him.
So you were smart.
I think they set you up.
Yeah.
I think you got set up.
That's right.
No doubt,
Same
no
pronunciation.
doubt. I'm sure of that. Now I'm going to read your bio real quick. Okay, Officer Pimentel, 294, attended Rutgers University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and political science. Officer Pimentel graduated from the Morris County Police Academy, Class 103, in November of 2024, and will be assigned to the Patrol Division upon his completion of the field training program. Officer Pimentel would like to thank his girlfriend, Jocelyn Chavez. I got that right. Okay, yeah. And his family for the years of love and support. You ready to do this? Yes, sir. All right. Oh, I'd like to call down Councilmember Michael Vieira to help us. Thank you. And you just got to go back and forth when you're speaking. You were right.
I, Christian Pimentel, do solemnly swear
I, Christian Pimentel, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state under the authority of the people.
and in this state under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of police officer in the Township of Livingston
perform all the duties of police officer in the Township of Livingston
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
It's like a good night. They've been practicing the smile. All right, our last swearing in tonight is Ryan Shepard, Officer Ryan Shepard. Can you come forward, badge 295? And I'm going to ask Councilmember Bhutani to come down and spend some time with us. All right. I'm just going to read his bio real quick, and then I'll let Councilmember Bhutani take over. We didn't forget anybody, right? No? Okay. Yep. Okay, Officer Ryan Shepard attended Seton Hall University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Officer Shepard graduated from the Morris County Police Academy, Class 103, in November of 2024. He will be assigned to the Patrol Division upon his completion of his field training program. Officer Shepard would like to thank his girlfriend, Natalia Aliota, okay. I promise I'll practice. I knew I didn't have that right. I knew, that one I knew I didn't have right. Thank you for calling me out on it, though, I appreciate it. Yeah. And his family, and families included. He wants to thank his family for all the years of love and support. And I just got to share one thing, and I know the captains don't like when I go off script, but I remember in his interview, he came to the final interview, 2 captains, town manager, and a chief in the room, and we had a great conversation, and he talked about how much he learned from all the different coaches playing baseball at Seton Hall University, and we had a great conversation about winning and losing and being part of a team, and he just really knocked it out of the park in the interview. And then at the end, he's walking out, we're shaking his hand, and I just happened to ask the question, what was your batting average, right? And I will not share it with you what his batting average is, but I'm going to let you know that he won, as far as I'm concerned, the #1 quality in a police officer is honesty. So I always appreciate that quality, honesty. Right?
So, Ryan, you got great kudos, right? You aced the interview and everything. So ready? Yes, sir. So, yeah, left hand and right hand. All right. So I state your name.
I, Ryan Shepard,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States and Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
of the United States and the Constitution of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the police officer
perform all the duties of a police officer
in the Township of Livingston,
in the Township of Livingston,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations and welcome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good night for me. Congratulations.
He's like, these guys are like badge number 194. I wonder if like Russ has 194 pictures of the exact same.
I'm going to ask the 2 captains to come forward real quick. I have a very brief closing remark, and we're just going to take a group photo with our 2 captains. We have Russell Muller and Joseph DeAndrea. All right. We all learned again this weekend that policing is a dangerous job. Yes, even in Livingston. In our region this last weekend, we lost 2 officers in Virginia Beach and 1 in York, Pennsylvania. Officers are thrown into dangerous situations, including domestic disputes, arrests, car crashes, bodily fluid exposures, chemical exposures, and the list goes on and on. They are all heroes, and I know I speak on behalf of the governing body, the captains, and myself when I say we will do whatever we can to keep them safe and get them home to you. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Council members in the back? Yep. That's why we're back here.
Never seen it.
Well done, guys. This is 194, the same picture. It's somewhere that no one's ever seen. So this is.
So wait, before everybody files out, can I just get, I'll take the mayor's prerogative for 2 minutes, if you don't mind, and just speak, 1 minute, speak on behalf of the entire council and on behalf of the entire Livingston community. First, I'd like to welcome the 5 of you. We thank you for serving. We thank you for, I know, the protection that you will give all the residents, and we look forward to many, many years of service, so thank you. To the current officers, to the captains, and to officers who are not here this evening, the town cannot thank you enough. I say it at every event that I go to, that we go to, I should say. We are so fortunate to have all of you protecting us, not today, not yesterday, but every day throughout the year. I said it yesterday at the event that we had, the rally for the State of Israel. I thank the officers who were there, and I thanked all of you for protecting all the houses of worship in this town, all the residents, the students of this town, and all the schools. We cannot thank you enough, and we are so proud to stand by your side, and we thank you all very much. Okay, dismissed. Good?
How you doing, Cap? Shit, good to see you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys very much. All right? I said it. I think I said it. We'd have to have 5 comments.
This is what. They raised a good question, so it's an interesting answer. So I had an interesting question. The question that we asked, an interesting answer on the question that we were talking about inside. The developers. Yeah, the developers. I'm just asking. John told me his thoughts, but I just asked if he could just ask his brother also. Because, but there may be something more to it than just like. Okay, yeah. But we'll see. Yeah.
But it's 70,000. At least it's better than 120.
Oh, but that's not even. That absolutely. But
Oh, you talking about the idea about getting
throwing it out
what
like for the
what I
people,
said,
throwing it
what
out
I
to other
said.
people.
Oh,
Yes, addressing your important
Oh,
question.
I thought you meant the other stuff. I'm sorry. I think you meant the other question about the actual repayment of the 120.
No. I mean the other important thing.
Yeah,
you
I
mentioned,
would love to hear that answer.
Well, this is part of the answer, but I asked him to just talk
Oh, I
to
forgot to
Jim
forward
about
you the email. I meant to copy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I sent a very nice thank you email to Michael
You
last
told me
night.
you were going to, yeah.
And I did. I forgot to copy. I'll forward it to you. I'm sorry about that. All right, I'll read a second.
Yeah, that's
All right, so we will move on to the business portion of the meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 10th, 2025 and the 2025 closed session meetings?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Before I open the meeting to the public comment section on agenda items only, I'm going to ask our attorney, Jared Cantor, to say a few words on one of the resolutions.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight we have ordinance 07-2025 on for introduction. This is an ordinance adopting the Livingston Mall redevelopment plan, and the governing body asked me to give a brief overview of how we got here. There will be a public hearing on this ordinance that will be scheduled, where there'll be a more full discussion if anybody wants to discuss. But how we got here was the Township of Livingston settled its third round fair share housing obligations by a settlement agreement dated October 30th, 2020. As part of that agreement, there was a paragraph in there, it's at 9C, that described that the township was required to put overlay zoning on the Livingston Mall if there were certain conditions present. We got into a dispute with Fair Share Housing Corporation around that paragraph. Fair Share Housing Corporation filed a motion in which they wanted the township, compelling the township to zone the entire mall. The mall is 60 acres. The township doesn't believe that all 60 acres should be for residential or affordable housing. So we went into negotiations as part of that motion practice. And the result of those negotiations was an amended settlement agreement that was dated July 22nd, 2023. It was through a lot of hard work, not only from myself, but from Mr. Lewis and the entire governing body. And we really we set a precedent in New Jersey that no other township was able to do. And there's two major benefits to the settlement agreement that we entered into. One is we limited development on the mall pursuant to what we have to do, what's out of the township's control. The development as part of the third round obligation is limited to the 376 units, which are on the agenda for tonight, and to the Transform Co site, which is basically the Sears site. In our agreement, it states that Fair Share Housing and no other developer can force us to develop the rest of the mall for residential in the fourth round, which is a huge win for the township. In addition, it provided us with surplus credits, and our agreement provided that those surplus credits could be used in the fourth round, which is also something I haven't seen in other municipalities. So the idea was the settlement allowed us to, what Fair Share Housing got was some residential zoning on the property. What the township got was, we said we already fulfilled our third round obligation, so these units should count towards the next round, and Fair Share Housing agreed with that. And we also were able to negotiate that the rest of the mall was completely under the township's control. So that was considered, a victory for the township. So we entered into an amended settlement agreement. On August 8th, 2024, we had a fairness and compliance hearing in Superior Court. At that time, pursuant to the fairness hearing, the court found our agreement to be fair. So this agreement is binding on the township and Fair Share Housing Corporation. As part of our compliance, the township is fully compliant with its third round obligations, but for the ordinance that's before this governing body tonight. So we're mandated to do this pursuant to a settlement agreement, but I want to be clear, we're not doing this because we're being forced to do it. We're doing this because it was part of a settlement that was beneficial to the township, and we want to do this. This allows the township to maintain control of the mall and limit residential to the Sears site as far as what we're being forced to do. And that's what's on tonight. I also want to point out some highlights and some negotiated points, again, through the governing body's hard work and Mr. Lewis's hard work. We negotiated with Fair Share Housing, and this redevelopment provides for 376 units, 75 of them being affordable. Out of the 301 market rates, 45% of them must be, a minimum of 45% must be one bedroom, a maximum of 55%, maybe two bedrooms, and only 50% of those will have dens. So I think the governing body, along with Mr. Lewis, did a good job in keeping, we're trying to keep, obviously, the impact to the schools at a minimum, and we think, this is the best way to accomplish that. Obviously, the affordable housing will have impacts on the schools, and we limited that to the 75 units that were part of the settlement agreement, which we're getting credit for in the fourth round obligation. So that's what's before the governing body tonight for introduction. Again, there'll be a public hearing if there's any more information needed. So the public's invited to come out and participate at the public hearing.
Thank you very much, Counselor, and thank you for all your hard work as well in getting the settlement to where it was. I know you spent many hours negotiating as well with the rest of us, and so we thank you for getting to this point as well, as with Barry Lewis as well. So Barry, we thank you as well for everything to get us here. So, now can I have a motion to open the public comments for agenda items only?
Motion to open to public comments for agenda items only.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The meeting is now open to public comments on agenda items only.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Justin Alpert, a resident of this community. With respect to the consent agenda, item 425-908, contract with Spartan Fire for that ladder truck. Thank you for the conversation in the back room about looking at tax policy and impact fee and seeing what changes in laws we need to make to put that assessment, the cost of that, on all of these institutions that are building up multi-story buildings in our community. And by the way, having suffered for 7 years under absolute power of the Democrats, the Republicans believe that tax policy is going to be a fundamental thing to reclaiming Drumthwacket. And if we can make a change to how we apply the taxes to residential versus commercial, it's going to be a game changer. Item 15, 25109, temporary emergency appropriations. Please pull that off so we can have a conversation. Don't really understand what's going on there. Item 16, 25110, rejecting all design build proposal bids. It seems, Mr. Mayor, that this design build program has been an absolute disaster, having taken years and years and years. This seems to cement it. Please pull this from the agenda so we can discuss it and find out the thoughts of this council. Item number 2 for introduction, 06-2025, to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank. Not really clear what this is about or why it's needed. Welcome a conversation about that. And lastly, item 3, Ordinance 07-2025, adopting Livingston Mall redevelopment plan. This has now been a year behind closed doors. This is really the first time we're hearing it. We don't understand whether this plan being presented is a fait accompli or whether you're genuinely looking for input from the public. And if so, on what? What do they actually have input for? What is the status of the condemnation? Are we moving forward with that? Because if the developers are going to get the upside here, their returns are going to approach infinity over the course of the time. 376 homes. How did we get to this number? And is there a master plan to deal with the rest of the property? At a recent 2-on-2, have you discussed with the schools the addition of 376 homes? But basically, with respect to this, when we come in next week, is this just a presentation to tell us what you all have done behind closed doors under attorney-client privilege because it had something to do with litigation? We have to hear from the attorney rather than the mayor. And it feels like we've lost control, and it feels like there's an opportunity to regain control on this absolutely trophy property in Livingston. So if you could let us know, what is it that you would like to hear from the public when you present this next week? Because we can certainly come back with any one of a number of items, but you spent so much time behind closed doors, and you may be so committed to this plan that we don't want to be antagonistic to you, but we want to be helpful. And what is it that we're doing here? And perhaps most seriously, what is the status of the condemnation? Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Justin. So I will tell you that we are going to be having, it's called the charrette process, but in other words, it's really called some town hall meetings. Those are going to be run by professionals, where the entire Livingston residents will be invited over a course of 5 days. So there will be sessions during the day, during the midday, during the evening. So everybody can participate, and everybody can give their opinions on what they would like to see at the mall. It's very important. I agree with you, by the way, that you're 100% correct, that it's important to get the buy-in from the residents, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to have a financial gentleman working for us as well, who's going to be to understand to the residents that 60 acres of the mall, whoever is going to purchase the mall, whatever it's going to be worth, may not be able just to do 60 acres of open space and fields, because that's not going to pay for it. That's not going to pay for the cost of 60 acres.
Healthy construction is helpful.
Exactly.
But you have to follow the money and the appreciated value of the real property. And if that's being taken over by elements outside of this community, we are, again, at a loss.
We don't have much control over who takes over.
I noticed that.
So, because we don't own them all, and I don't think,
But where are we on the condemnation?
I don't think that I would be in favor of voting for, what is the proper terminology, what we did with the, what we did at, not a condemnation, no, the eminent domain to take over the mall at a cost of $60-70 million. I don't think that's probably proper the way to do
Well,
it.
okay, can we talk with Arbitrage Council about that? Because we have investment-grade credit ratings. We can arbitrage the position against the infinite returns that are going to go to the developers, bring it in-house, and lower our taxes.
We are hoping to have this town hall process for the week of March 17th. There'll be a lot of a notification out to the whole town, whether it be on social media, websites as well, and we certainly look forward to your participation there.
Look forward to a new administration in Drumthwacket that will return control to the localities.
Any other comments on agenda items only?
Hello, all. Tim Foley, resident of the town. I just got one question. What's the process of changing a commercial piece of property into a residential / commercial property? Because that's what all these places are turning into. There were all commercial properties, and now they're being changed over to commercial / residential. So who has the authority to do that? Is this the town council, or?
So there's several different ways, but when it comes to affordable housing, you could overlay zone, or in this case, they went through the redevelopment process. The mall was an area in need of redevelopment, and we did a redevelopment plan for the mall.
Okay,
ultimately, it's the town council.
But we have 7 properties that were commercial, and now there's residential going in there.
Those properties actually wound up in the third round. They were in the third round. So the developers went to Fair Share to put those pieces of property in the third round, where they had the right to do what they did.
Outside people basically made these choices for us as the
we are
council and the residents.
So, yeah, so
none of you had anything to do with.
We did not vote on, so there was a third and fourth round of Fair Share housing.
Okay, I understand that.
Everything that you're talking about is all related to Fair Share housing. The third and fourth round of Fair Share housing was voted on by the Assembly and the Senate down in Trenton.
Okay.
Those rules then come back to us, and because of those rules passed, the people who own those other properties that you are talking about had the right to then take it from a commercial property to a residential property.
Tim, we spend a lot of time and energy fighting this.
No, I understand.
So I just want to be, yeah.
It's my time.
So I just want you to know that, yeah, you're
So
asking a
I'm
very.
trying to be educated right now.
You're asking a very important question.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm
And
asking.
you're saying it's within the town council's purview of deciding this, but this was decided in an extra legal process, not extra legal, a legal process that was something that we were contending, and we weren't excited about the results. So I mean, that's what that
Okay,
was.
again, that's why I'm up here, because, all of a sudden from commercial, now it's commercial and
And Mayor, if
residential.
I may
so-
add, the fourth round is different. The third round was mainly litigious. It was mainly negotiations with Fair Share Housing. There was mainly closed-held negotiations. The fourth round is a totally different process. It's an open process. The planning board is going to be, the planning board is going to take the lead on it. We're probably going to have our planner is going to introduce properties. So it's a different process. It's going to be upfront. The township is going to put its plan forward rather than a settlement agreement between us and Fair Share Housing Corporation.
Okay.
But
I
the
agree.
fourth round, excuse me a second, so I don't mean to say, go against our attorney, but the fourth round itself, we were actually asked 2 weeks ago here, 2 weeks ago I think it was, to vote on a number of amount of Fair Share apartments, Fair Share housing that we decided to vote for. We didn't want to do that. We were told that we had to do that by something that was passed in Trenton.
Well, I'm not going to speak on policy if the governing body is for or against having affordable housing in the township, but it's a legal mandate that we have affordable housing, and in the third round, it
When
was
is too
dictated
much too
to
much?
us.
I mean,
So-
seriously, I mean,
So-
majority of us up
So,
here,
yeah,
I know
so
you grew up in town, I grew up in town, you guys moved into town. I understand all that, and it's all great that you guys are doing a great job. I understand that, but when is too much too much? I've been here since I was 4 years old. I'm the fourth generation here. There won't be a fifth. None of my kids, none of my nephews or nieces, your kids are not going to be able to afford this town.
So, Tim, I don't know if you saw our planner's presentation last week, but it was very interesting that if we had 0 land available, we would still owe 388 units to Fair Share Housing, and that's just the affordable units. They have a market component to them. So you're right, Livingston is not being treated fairly in the process, but it's being mandated by our legislature.
So, Mayor, may I say something? So we were forced to have literally a 5-minute meeting we voted on the Westminster Hotel. and we said, no, we didn't want that, okay? And that was done amongst ourselves. Okay, fair share housing literally made us, wanted us to reconsider. We reconsidered. We had a 5-minute meeting, and we all voted that down, okay? Literally, except for Councilman Butani, we all voted it down, okay? Well, they came back and said, you know what? You don't have... He wasn't on the council. He wasn't on the council. Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that.
You see what, so the state comes back and says, no, you don't have a choice. And now you see that it's a pile of rubble. We didn't want that. We were forced to have that. And we all voted against it. So that's how powerful that Fair Share Housing Corporation was, unfortunately.
It's ruining New Jersey. It really is.
We all agree.
It really is
100%.
ruining New Jersey.
So
So-
Tim,
You-
Tim,
you-
one,
we're ha- I'm
But
happy-
thank you for educating, because that's why I came up here. Just I wanted to be educated a little bit because I
Tim,
didn't have
one
enough time
other
to do
minute.
my homework. So
Tim, one other, Mayor, if I can. So I'll just add one thing to this. I think we discussed, you heard that this council is really against it, trying to make sure it is in the best interest possible. One of the things and silver lining out of this, I try to see some hopeful part of it, is what the council touched upon, is the third round, the feedback of third round, somewhat, that has started to becoming somewhat transparent. We are able to push back. That's how, if you saw last time's conversation, from 467 to 407, we are trying to do as much as possible within those limits that are set on us to reduce it, to make sure we give the feedback, we draw lines, we provide models, no land available. But still, right, exactly, those are the types of
Can't we get any of these
conversation we can have.
developers to help with infrastructure? Because it just seems like
So-
nothing's
so-
I mean, the
That's
sewer
where some of
plant,
the ordinances
the sewer
come in.
plant's already at its level. I know I'm
Yeah,
over,
but
it.
Tim,
You
it's
guys
just
have
one
to-
of the
Specifically in the law, that infrastructure is not a consideration. The third round, it was no consideration. In the fourth round, there's a constraint if you have water or sewer constraints, but other than that, roads, schools, police, fire is not a consideration. Fair housing
I mean, if I'm not
statutorily.
mistaken, our sewer plant is almost at capacity.
I
So
mean,
how are we adding all
Well,
these
that's-
new apartments?
That is that you can reduce your number based on sewer capacity and water capacity, which is new for the fourth round, but not roads, not schools, not police, not fire. It's part of the statute.
And that's ridiculous because our fire department is saving this town $15 million
I
a
must be thinking
year
about
by
it, but they
being
agree with you.
volunteer.
Tim, we could not agree with you more, and we're happy to give you, if you're really interested, happy to hand you I'm happy to email you the email addresses of the leaders of the 27th district, the two assemblies and one state senator, who they're the ones, they're the votes that voted. So.
Please do, I would
I'm
appreciate it.
happy to do it.
I just, on your note, your very important note on when you said about the fire department, but that was also why this council felt really strongly about the new stipends that were it just showed the appreciation that we have. We want people who work and who volunteer in this town to understand that we see you.
Right.
Right, and we care
And
about
I'm
you.
not here for the fire department.
No, I know you're not, but I just want,
Nothing.
we agree, we fully and completely agree with your point, and we have acted on that.
Okay, no, I know you
And
did.
Tim, we know you're not here for the fire department, but also you could tell the members of the fire department, the Quint is on this agenda tonight.
Everybody knows already.
And they're happy.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
are.
Good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Any other comments on public agenda items only?
Motion to close?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Just 1 second, since we closed, just one more thing on the agenda item, since we talked about it. I would like to thank publicly Mike Izzo and the Tribune, especially Mike, for the editorial that you wrote a few weeks ago, on behalf of everybody, thanking us, what you said about trying to take control of our fourth round and getting ahead of that. So we certainly appreciate that. We have been working hard on that. You were right, we were behind on the third round significantly due to prior leaderships and prior councils that we had prior to that, but now we are certainly getting ahead of it and you saw what we did a few weeks ago. So thank you for those nice words. We are up now to passages of ordinance, final hearing. Carolyn, will you please read ordinance 03-2025 for second reading?
Yes, Mayor. This is ordinance 3-2025, amending and supplementing Chapter 29, Traffic and Parking.
Can I have a motion to open the public meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Public
I'll
comment?
second it.
Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The meeting is now open for comments on ordinance 03-2025.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Okay, motion to move?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Okay.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Laptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes. Going down to the introductions, ordinance 05-2025, please.
Ordinance 5-2025, amending Chapter 135, filming.
I'll move it on first reading.
I'll second.
Any comments?
Comments?
Mayor, I would just say that
Please.
this was something that I had read about becoming a film-friendly town, and I was very excited about this idea. And then I talked to some of the members of the staff, including Adam, and they were already on it. It was already something that was in motion. So I think that Livingston's a beautiful place, and it's making it a film-ready town is something to help promote it and show everybody what a special place that we live in. It's a way to make a little change in our pockets by having people film here. So it's also fun and exciting, and I think this is a great ordinance. Thanks, Mayor.
Mayor, may I say something?
Sure.
So I think this is just something that we needed to do because clearly it looks like New Jersey is going to become a film state, especially with the construction of a giant Netflix studio down in Monmouth County. I think New Jersey is going to become really almost like a Hollywood, California, based on the size of the Netflix. And I think we're just taking smart steps to get us ready for that. Thank you.
Any other comments, or? No, okay.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Laptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Ordinance 6-2025.
When are we going to, when's the
Oh, I'm
second?
sorry. Public hearing is March 12th, 2025.
March 12th. Thank you. Please read 06-2025.
Ordinance 6-2025 to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance on introduction.
First reading. I'll second it.
Okay. Discussion? Ann, you want to, any comments?
Just briefly, we decided based on the auditor's recommendation, this is normal every time we do budgets, that normally we go to 2.5% by law, but they allow us to go to 3.5% only in appropriation increase. Has nothing to do with tax increases, but it just allows us to go up. And we do that every year. So it's just standard. We're doing it early this year.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? No. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Laptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
And Mayor, the final reading on this will be March 12th, 2025.
All right, thank you. 07-2025, please.
Ordinance 07-2025, adopting Livingston Mall redevelopment plan.
I'll move the ordinance for introduction.
I'll second.
Discussion, or we've had enough, or any other comments? Dan, I'm sorry, Carolyn, please read the roll call.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Laptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
And Mayor, the public hearing will be March 24th, 2025. So not the next meeting, but the one after.
Thank you. 08-2025 is being pulled, so can you please read 09-2025?
Ordinance 9-2025, appropriation of $2,035,000 bonds for various improvements.
Move it.
I'll second it.
Any
Second.
discussion? Okay. Roll call.
Councilmember Anthony.
Just one second, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I thought I asked.
And would you be able to describe this one a little bit? Any comments would be good here, please.
Well, briefly, we have to purchase a loader, and it's for DPW. It totally broke, and in order to fix it, it's $80,000. So we decided that we would do a capital ordinance and purchase a new one. It will take 4 months, and that's $50,000. And then on top of that, I asked the department heads what needed to be done before the budget, which we're going to introduce on time this year. And some of it was also some of the engineering projects that she wants to do, drainage. So I included that in this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, please read. Play roll call.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Laptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
And Mayor, the public hearing will be March 24th, 2025.
Thank you
also.
very much. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and not controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. As mentioned earlier, we will not be reading the last one, 25-111. Does anybody on the council want to pull out any of the other ones for separate hearings or readings?
I have a question on,
I think we got to wait till, we have to wait for the discussion until after we move it, or you want?
Depends if you pull it.
Councilman?
All right, go ahead.
just on 25-105 just for Barry. On the truck that we're getting, I know we're buying that through a collective. So does that guarantee a best price for us? I mean, do we, in other words, if we know a truck we want, do we go to different Ford dealerships and try to price it out, or do we,
Yeah, I mean, any of the co-ops competitively bid. We do check multiple co-ops if they offer the same vehicle.
Doesn't matter.
So, there's a guarantee that if you went out to bid, you might get one cheaper. You might, but you'd also spend a bunch more time and personnel, staff, and advertising and things associated with bids. So generally speaking, the purchasing cooperatives provide, I think, very good value. And again, we check multiple co-ops.
Thank you.
I will say, Councilman, that in most towns, when they put vehicles out for bid, dealerships don't bid, because it's just, they're not used to doing it, and the public bidding process is so cumbersome that you typically will not get bids if you put it out for vehicles.
I mean, just for my education, do you have to put out for bid, or can you actually just, go to different dealerships and price out?
You have to
You'd have to
bid.
go out for bid for that. Okay, thank you
And
very
if you
much.
want to buy from a
Yeah, if it's
dealership,
over
you
the
can
bid
put it out,
threshold,
you can put it out a couple times, and if nobody responds, then you can go out to the dealership, but co-op is typically the way to go, because you typically do not get responses to bids for vehicles.
Thank you.
Councilman Batani?
Thank you, Mayor. So I want to just talk about 25-102, maybe Barry or Adam. The underlying part here is Go Pilot. And I think the Go Pilot is really something that should be known to our residents. It's a fantastic service. I personally used it, and it's something to be seen. Maybe this is the opportunity to just quickly talk about that. What is this about? And just describe it, please.
Yeah, GovPilot is in a workflow system that residents are able to interact with specific departments on a variety of different levels. So everything from report a concern. GovPilot has an application called, I think it's GovAlert, that you can use your cell phone, click a pothole, it'll geotag your location and send it to the appropriate department to get fixed. You can do everything from property maintenance to any non-emergency item you could put out there. This also has a lot of the forms that you'll start seeing online more and more. We're going to start seeing these online forms. These forms all have a back-end workflow. What it's enabling the township to do is, as all this information comes in, it's going to create a workflow, create a tracking. We're going to be able to see everything. Departments, instead of in the past, unfortunately, it's been very siloed with government. We're kind of bringing everyone together. Different departments are going to be able to see different things, and all that information is going to be brought together so we can work better together. The other thing that this program and software has is a fantastic mapping capability. So if you go to our Livingston website, there's a community map. On that map, if you click on a property, you can find out a lot of information. So instead of having to come into Town Hall to get a tax map, you can now just go online, click on the property, click on tax map, and it will be right there. There's also a wealth of information about that property if you're also looking for information on that. The other part is, we receive a lot of Oprah requests, specifically from realtors who, are just doing their due diligence on a property to make sure that construction things are closed out and, information about the property. Now, realtors are able to go onto this mapping system, click on a property, and see some of the construction things that are on there. We are still working on the software. It's very new, so we're throwing a lot of information into it. We're getting more departments involved with it, and so it is a kind of a growing process. So, stay tuned. More and more will be coming out with that. We're going to have almost every department on it, and hopefully it'll be. It so far has been a great addition to what we're doing. So.
Thank you very much. I think that's an important part, and I know it is 102 is about service contract for the GovAlert, but I would really underscore the importance of having smart government that can be utilized using something that's on your phone almost every time throughout the day, which is the app, GovAlert. Download it, enable the location services, walk up to, let's say I get a lot of service requests or information saying, how do I get rid of a dead tree right in front of my yard? You take your phone, go up there, click on it, and the report gets done. It's that simple. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it. The workflow that Adam mentioned, that has underlying mapping to it. So it does work, and I think just want to use this opportunity to underscore that, so thank you.
Any other, are you good? Okay, are we good? Okay. Any other questions on any other agenda or the consent agenda items or anything? You want to pull anything out before we read them all? That being said, Carolyn, will you please read 25, everything but 25-111?
Resolution 25-095, authorizing the award of a contract to Portofino Builders LLC. Resolution 25-096, sale of surplus vehicle. Resolution 25-097, authorizing the award of contract to Beacon Planning and Consulting Services LLC. Resolution 25-098, authorizing a contract with Spartan Fire LLC. Resolution 25-099, authorizing the award of a contract to Gibbons PC. Resolution 25-100, authorizing the award of a contract to Edmunds GovTech. Resolution 25-101, authorizing the award of a contract to Prime Point LLC. Resolution 25-102, authorizing a contract with Yorktel Corporation. Resolution 25-103, authorizing purchases under the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Purchasing Program. Resolution 25-104, authorizing purchases under Union County Cooperative Pricing System. Resolution 25-105, authorizing a contract with Paramus Ford. Resolution 25-106, authorizing the award of contract to Colliers Engineering. Resolution 25-107, authorizing the award of a contract to Capola Services, Inc. Resolution 24-108, authorizing the award of a contract to Stanzial Construction, LLC. Resolution 25-109, authorizing 2025 temporary emergency appropriations. And Resolution 25-110, rejecting all design build proposal bids for the construction of a new Department of Public Works building.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Laptani.
Yes.
Vieira.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Reinhardt.
Yes. All right, can I have a motion, please, to open the meeting to the public portion on any subject?
Motion to open the meeting to the public comment.
Second.
Okay, the meeting is now open. I'm sorry, all in favor? Okay, sorry.
Yes.
The meeting is now open for the public portion on any items you'd like to speak about. Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you? Good, nice to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you.
Just speak into the mic, please. Just speak into the mic.
Oh, okay. Hi. Mr. Mayor Edward Minhart and council members, how are you? My name is Laura Tamayo and
Caroline Puma.
We're members of Sazon Livingston nonprofit organization, and we're also part of the LCDI. And we want to invite to participate in one of the activities we have planned for Saturday, March 8th, which is the International Women's Day, and we're going to have a fundraising event. This special day, which is the International Women's Day, on Sugar Tree Cafe from 5:30 to 9 p.m. And, well, we want to invite you to participate and to the entire community of Livingston to participate with us on this important day. And like I said, we are doing this fundraising event for the activity we have planned for Sunday, September 28th, which is a Hispanic Heritage Festival here in Livingston. And this is going to be our third year, so we're so excited and planning a lot of activities for that day for the entire town of Livingston.
Yes, we would also like to ask for the permission to see if we can post our flyer in the city hall and any other property cities, maybe the senior citizen. As we say, we are a nonprofit organization, and we appreciate everyone's support that we want to put the city of Livingston to expose to the Latin community as well, since we are a minority here, but we want to let you know about our culture as well.
So thank you very much. I know we all
And
had
more
a-
important, we are supporting the local business. All our events, we're trying to do it to support the small business also in Livingston.
So I don't see any reason why to say no. I don't know if we can post stuff in town hall. I'm not really sure what our rules are.
Or maybe, can we get a copy of the flyer, and we'll get, and one of us, somebody will email you back tomorrow, either myself, Mr. Lewis, or the mayor?
That's all. I got I just want, from a personal standpoint, first of all, welcome. It's great to see you. We all had a great time at the last couple of events. I think we've already approved the date in September. I think it came up in front of the council a while ago through the LCDI, so we're all excited. We already approved that date in September for you. I just, from a personal standpoint, I got your email, which you sent. I'm going to send a contribution and support it. I will not be in town that weekend, so I won't be able to attend, but I promise to send and help send a donation to make sure that it gets supported as
Oh,
well.
thank you so much.
So it's
There
why-
are spaces in the community center, like when you walk in, there are racks for the, like, upcoming events and stuff, so you will be able to
in the
put
community
flyers
center. I
there.
think the question was here.
No, I know, but
Okay.
they also mentioned the community
sorry.
center, so
Yeah,
you
the
won't have
commu-
trouble finding
yeah,
places there,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Any other comments, Michael?
Mayor, I just want to just say that you guys are doing a fantastic job trying to raise money for Cezanne. I know that's not a very cheap event that you put on, but you guys, I think this is, I was at the 2 of them already. I think this is maybe your 3rd one. And thank you for Sugar Tree with Liliana's business, just
Yes.
representing that. That's great, but keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments on anything that anybody would like to talk about? We know who you are. You don't have to introduce yourself again.
I know you guys know me. Thank you. The last time I was here, a police officer did catch the garbage truck at 3:30 in the morning, and my mother-in-law says there hasn't been anything picked up that early. So thank you for, getting the police involved, and, and hopefully, these guys are ticketed if they come back. That's what I'm hoping for. So I just sent you guys pictures. It's still the same property, but the dumpsters, we need to figure out something. It's not even that this lot, I have a bone with them doing what they're doing right now with the dumpsters. They're blocking the driveway. You can't get into the one side of the driveway. We need to think about some sort of ordinance that dumpsters need to be put back in the places that they're supposed to. Or get them fenced in, because, not for nothing, I don't want to be looking at dumpsters, especially next to a residential area. So it's something that I'm asking the town council to look into, maybe some sort of fencing around the dumpsters on all the commercial properties.
Hey, Barry, is that something we could maybe discuss with zoning officer or Marty?
Yeah,
Talk
we
about
can
that.
look
It's not-
into it. Certainly any new
not a bad
development
idea.
applications, we require that. And I think when we looked at this before, this situation, because the property's been there so long.
Right.
But we can look into whether we could amend it to sort of take away any.
All right, because those two dumpsters, again, they're not even on the proper property now. And it's like the garbage, I mean, I know it's the garbage company's fault for not putting them back, but the property owner or business owner should really be putting their dumpsters back where they belong, not just wherever the garbage men want to just dump these dumpsters, and again, that parking lot is like a minefield. So I think we need somebody to get there for the properties, because one of the pictures, you can see there's 2 craters right there, and it's not easy for, I mean, I'm surprised the businesses that are in those few buildings aren't complaining.
Hey, Barry, I have a question. Do site plans expire? I know that these businesses have been there a long time, but there's got to be some sort of site plan on file where it specifically says where the dumpsters should be.
Those buildings been there that long, they may not have had a site plan.
Okay.
Could be.
Municipal Planning Act was
But those 2
59.
dumpsters used to belong to Harry's Hardware, which used to be next to the building. Now they're.
Can we check though, Barry?
In the
Yeah,
other
we'll certainly
parking
check
lot.
and talk to code enforcement as well, and look at whether there's an opportunity to amend the code to take, to get past any grandfathering status.
But that brings up a good question. For those businesses that don't have site plans, or they were there before site plans, they have carte blanche? Or is there something that the council can do?
Well, that's what I was suggesting. We can look into what we can do in terms of the grandfather status.
All right, and that's not the only piece of property that you see dumpsters all over the place too, so, but if possible, let's look into an ordinance that we have to at least corral them in certain places, and then if the businesses don't do it, then we have to go after the garbage carriers, put the stuff back where it belongs and not just dump and run, or pick up and run, I should say, not
And
dump.
did you send me the pictures as well, or can you?
I think I said that,
All right, somebody
I don't
flip them to me.
think I have your,
Flip them to me.
I don't
We'll
have your
forward you the
cell.
pictures.
I don't think I have your cell number. So, all right,
thanks, Tim.
hey, again, thank you for, hopefully the garbage people don't come at 3:30 in the morning anymore.
We're
So,
trying. You're a prime example of what happens, and I tell people all the time, that if you don't come and tell us the issues, how could we ever correct it? So I tell people all the time who come, they complain, but we never know. So thank you for letting us know, because that's why the mic is open to talk. So thank you.
Absolutely, thank you,
Yep.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, Justin Alpert, 56 Sam, I'm sorry, a resident of this community. One, holding closed session without notice prior to the public hearing in the conference meeting, it's inconsiderate of the public. That's the public's time. There was no notice. Sure, emergencies happened. This did not seem to be the case. There was concern when we adopted originally, I think it was during the Vieira administration holding closed before, that this would be a problem. It's obvious a problem. As a matter of consideration of the public whom you invite to those meetings, would appreciate if you could hold your closed sessions afterwards. Two, if we are inducting the best of the best into our police force, if we had a community banking facility, we would be offering for them to move into one of the homes that we're building here in Livingston, to live here, make a life here, build the local culture here. We don't have that banking facility. Unfortunately, the governor was looking at that pre-COVID when Deputy Mayor Klein and I went to go visit the mayor's speech in Maplewood right before COVID. He talked about a state bank, but ultimately that went nowhere. Hopefully during the next administration we can look at a local bank, because we will find that paying skilled and educated people real living household incomes to do the work that responsibly needs to be done will only cost a fraction of what we think if they're banking locally and their interest is secured by the value of real property. Three, has there been a 2-on-2 recently in the last 2 weeks?
We actually met with some of the Board of Ed, and we had some very good discussions on updating them on all the housing apartments that are coming out, and so they're now up to date on everything, not that they weren't before.
Are they prepared to plan for the new housing that's going in at the mall?
Well, it's interesting you said that, because I asked for an update on the, what they call their long-term range facility plan, and I'm not sure exactly when that's coming out, but I did ask for that because I would like to read it as well.
Let me cut you off there. Thank you, sir. Lastly, when Councilman Vieira was running for office for the first time, he spoke very fondly of the weak form of local governance. And then today spoke about how many things were pushed over our heads and enforced over us. We should move to a nonpartisan government. That's easy. We should move to a broader dais, perhaps have 3 people at large and 5 members regionally, where we can actually begin to take control over the real property in our regions. But we should really explore a stronger form of governance and welcome you to direct the township attorney to report back to us about our different government options, because we may very well appreciate having a stronger form of governance. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Justin. Any other comments? Can I have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Before we move on to the, we did receive.
Just make one comment on that, Justin's. Sure. I just wanted to say, Justin, you talked about a weak form of government. The government is not weak. It is statement about what the power is of the mayor relative to the rest of the council. But the government is strong. It's just a question of what the relative power is between the mayor and the rest of the thing. That's all.
Get up to Jared.
Pushed over your heads.
So does
No
every-
one takes
hold
a
on. So
stand.
does-
You
so-
don't take a
hold on
public
second, hold on.
stand.
Every municipality in the state has had to deal with fair share, no matter what their form of government is. And they've
Okay.
all had, so your idea that there's a weak government that wasn't able to, push back against it, it's just nonsense. It's not true.
But it's literally true.
Mr. Alpert, he's not having a conversation, he's responding.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your time.
The problem with Mr. Alpert is he always brings politics into this room. No, Justin, you don't have the microphone no more. Okay,
me out personally,
so
Councilman.
you don't have your 3 minutes. Justin,
You're calling
you
me
are the
out
only
personally.
person that
Mr.
ever
Alpert,
comes
you-
into this chamber and talks politics.
Alpert, you're out of
You are the
order.
only person. Okay, none of us up here bring our politics into this chamber except for you.
Because you're happy with the way things are, getting things pushed
Mr.
up
Alpert,
And
your
you're not
head.
happy.
Justin, all right, Justin, all right, thank you. Just one more comment for the trip. We do allow some lively comments back and forth here, unlike other educations. So just real quick, I want to read a letter that we received, because we hear some not great things sometimes, some okay things, but we received something very nice. I really wanted to read and let everybody know some of the great work that's done by some of our town employees. This comes from the Eastman Management Corporation. It says, "Dear Mayor Meinhardt, I am writing to commend the professionalism and courteous demonstrated by the employees of the Livingston Water Department. Our building located at 290 West Mount Pleasant Avenue recently experienced a major water main break. We immediately contacted Ralph Ray for assistance, and he promptly arrived on site along with Michael Salerno and Andrew Giambista. Giambista, sorry, I butchered that name. Their swift response and teamwork ensured that the situation was quickly brought under control, preventing what could have become a much larger issue. Thanks to their efforts, the water main was repaired. Our building has since resumed normal operations. We sincerely appreciate the quick and efficient response of Ralph, Michael, and Andrew, and to please be sure we recognize these gentlemen for their outstanding service and dedication." Letters like that that we receive, and comments like that in emails, certainly makes me, and I know the rest of this council, very, very proud to sit up here and have dedicated employees of this town. So thank you. So thank you for sending that in. We are now going to move on to the reports of township officials and council members. Ann?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. A few things. We have scheduled the budget hearings with each of the department heads for March 11th.
And that's a public meeting, and that will be notified. The notify will be going out to everybody. If it has not gone out already today, no, it will go out by tomorrow. 48-hour notice.
Also, I wanted to mention that thank you to the council for increasing the budget for the aid to the first aids and our volunteers. We were able to distribute $35,000 to our volunteers and also to Hatzala, $15,000. Everybody was so thrilled. It makes a big difference. And also, the volunteers, the fire volunteers, were also going to be distributing almost $100,000. So thank you for that. I think everybody's just thrilled. Thank you.
Good stuff.
No update tonight.
Barry?
Nothing other than just sort of join. I didn't have an opportunity, and they're gone now, but to recognize the chief, the captains, and all the officers that showed up. I think they take very seriously recruiting and really have built a tremendous department, and it was kind of eye-opening for the chief to mention how much turnover we've had since I've been here, but that's all I have. Thank you.
Russ?
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Counselor?
Nothing tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Carolyn?
Nothing from me, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, I think this week's, this meeting Keaton gets to speak on behalf of the council?
Thank you, Mayor.
Right, you knew about this, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Well, this one I was not, yeah. So I'm going to start with, and I think this, as Mayor said, I'm going to, on behalf of the council, let me first say, Tim, what you did and what you brought up to the microphone and have the conversation about the education is what we really need, and truly appreciate that. I didn't have that on my comment, but after seeing that exchange, and the exchange of a strong government is what make all this possible. right? It's not a weak form of government. And I think on all of this, it's important that the residents' engagement is continuous, and thank you for that. Another great note is that tonight, an outstanding win by our Lancers hockey team, 10-0. I think they deserve an awesome. It's a state tournament, and they really crushed it. It's a first round. You know why? It's a first round, but it is still a state tournament. No. I think all of us can be there, and still they will still win. I think they're that good. They're that good.
Well said, Ken, well said.
But on the flip side, right? I mean, on the flip side, a couple of things noticing, and then all of us were part of it. There were pains in our community. I mean, Mayor talked about when he asked for us to pray. The parading of the bodies of the hostages by Hamas and anything that goes something like that, outrageous, inhumane. There are a number of words being floated around. But then when it comes down to our residents, you see that pain in their eyes. When we were there at the rally, all of us, we saw that pain come through. And these are our brothers and sisters, right? Our neighbors, so we join in their pains. And I think, I will stop there, but I think that was one moving rally, and congratulations to the organizers arranging that in a short amount of time, and still had an impactful gathering of residents. In past a couple of weeks since we met last time, we had a few events other than the rally for support for Israel I talked about. That was on February 23rd. We had a good meet and greet with Sanskriti. It was a very lively conversation of that Sanskriti community. Just this evening, we had a fantastic art show, that AP students' perspective, fantastic music. So anybody in the township who are watching, listening, or will get to know about this, please come on down in the town halls and check out those art effects. It's fantastic. Some of the council members and the mayor were at the Read Across America. So in the Collins School, there were good reading that went in. I think that's an important event. Before I go to the next set of events that we're all going to be, I'm going to put a plug here. This week's West Essex Tribune. I would recommend the residents to pick up a copy and see. Personally, I love history, but look at the section B and look at what we have and Tim, you talked about it. 4 years old and further, right? I mean, that's the history we are all proud of. So I would say just take a look. It's just amazing a piece of journalism there. And wishing folks who are celebrating Mahashivratri and Ramadan. Speaking of which, we will be having crescent moon lighting on 27th. Many of us will be at the another charity event, which is grown from Livingston Cycle for Survival on March 2nd. We have an arts mural competition at the Heidi Gallery on 7th of March. The judging of it, thank you, Mayor. And then there is an athletic event. Livingston Oval is actually going to be a running track. So it's the second annual running event on 8th of March, and we heard about Sajan fundraising. And I think the next council meeting is not Monday, so is Wednesday. But before that, we will have a change in the clock, right? So I think that pretty much covers it from my side.
I learn something new every day. I did not know that when the clock changed, so thank you very much for that. So, Kate, thank you very much for those. I think you hit on all of them. I did say it at the very beginning. I'll just reiterate the one more time about the rally that was yesterday. I was so proud of all the councilmen being there, supporting the state of Israel. I thank them all for their time to come. And, what we saw this past week with the return of the bodies, the buses that were deliberately tried to be blown up, and thankfully they were blown up at 4 in the morning and not 8 in the morning in a bus depot and not on a crowded day during the rush hour. we continue to pray for peace in the Middle East. So thank you. At this point, we are going to go back into open session into the conference room. And as Caton did say, the next meeting will be on the 12th of March, not the 10th. Thank you. Wednesday.